Hey guys, in today's video, we're gonna be going through a text from Osho. And this text is on sex, celibacy, and semen retention, basically. This text is filled with wisdom. I've already read it once, so I can't wait for you guys to hear it, right? If you don't know who Osho is, he was basically an enlightened being, vibrating at his consciousness was vibrating at a level of enlightenment, right? He's a very wise old man. He lived in the 70s. He had access to almost a Rolls Royce for every day of the year, diamond bracelets. He combined the Western materialism with the Eastern spiritualism, right? He was famous back then, and a lot of people still know him. And let's just dive straight into it. So we have the text here, and let's just get started. Sex makes man a fool. Truth is that sex makes man a fool, gives him the idea that he is the master of it, while he is only a slave. And the slavery has to be broken. He has to be pulled out of this stitch. But if he thinks that this stitch is a palace, then you cannot pull him out of it. You cannot persuade him to come out of it. Hence, the condemnation of sex by all the religions. But they overdid it, and they forgot the 99% dangers just for the 1%. It could have been done very easily without taking the risk of the 99% falsehood, but they saw the danger of man being simply a means, and that is the lowliest position possible. You are just a means, not an end. And I just want to say here, on the fact that if you think it's a palace, then you cannot pull them out of it. It's the same when you have friends in your life. You know they're doing things that are not good for them. Maybe they're drinking a lot of alcohol. Maybe they don't want to work out. Maybe they play a lot of video games. They think the place that they're currently in is a palace. You cannot help them. You cannot pull them out. They have to realize for themselves that they have to change. You are being used by some unknown force which you have no idea. The man living on an instinctive level only has an hallucination of love. That hallucination is created by nature, by biology, by chemistry. You have in your body drugs which are released when you are making love and you start moving into euphoria. That is one of the reasons why people who become addicted to drugs slowly become uninterested in sex. People become addicted to sex, and a very strange thing about addiction is that if you have the drug, it is nothing. If you don't have it, then you're missing. You never think what you are missing, because when you have it, it's nothing. Each time you have it, you feel that it is just a futile effort. Nothing comes out of it. You don't move a single inch in evolution. You just jump for a moment in the air with a thumb and you fall back on the ground. And this is so true. It's the same when you relapse on semen retention. You do it for just a moment. It feels good in the moment, but for what reason? You're not... There's no evolution in your life caused by this. It's different if you're having sex and you're trying to procreate a child. And it's the same if you're addicted to sugar. It feels good in the moment, but in reality, you're just fooling yourself. Desires never fulfill anyone. Buddha has said it is not the nature of desire to be fulfilled. Fulfillment comes only by desirelessness. Now, this is one of the most important paradoxes. If you drop desiring, you will be fulfilled. The more you desire, the more you are getting into desire. The farther and farther away you can go from your possibility of fulfillment. One desire creates many more desires, then many more desires, millions more. It is like a tree. First, it is one, then many branches, then many small offshoots, and on it goes. The person has asked, I feel stuck. Everybody who has been living in desire feels stuck. The problem is that if you don't try to fulfill your desire, you remain unfulfilled. If you try, even if you get the goal of your desire, then you remain unfulfilled. Then too, nothing changes. This is the nightmare of life. And this is something I've especially witnessed in my life. It's like for me, celibacy, semen retention is a keystone habit. If I have this and I don't feed this beast, then I don't want to feed the other beast. But if I do feed this beast, then I want the other things. Like if I relapse on semen retention, it's not long till I start smoking weed again. It's not long till I start eating like McDonald's and other types of shit. But then when I stop fulfilling my desires, right, and I just don't feed the beast, then it's fit. It was like, I think I quoted this in a video from before. It's like, ever fed, never satisfied. Never fed, ever satisfied, you know? So if you never feed the beast, you're going to be satisfied forever, pretty much. And that's why semen retention is a keystone habit. It's, for me at least, it's very important in my life for me to be able to move forward and actually evolve. Osho on repressed sexuality. And my observation is the moment you accept something totally, the very acceptance brings a revolution, a radical change. It is your energy. Accept it. It will make you stronger. Reject it. It keeps you weak. Fighting with your own energy is dissipating it. And fighting with your sex will take so much of your time and so much of your energy. Then, when you're out, when are you going to look at God who is knocking on your door? Old age is the last opportunity given to you. Before death comes, prepare. And how does one prepare for death? By becoming more meditative. If some lurking desires are still there and the body is getting old and the body is not capable of fulfilling those desires, don't be worried. Meditate over those desires. Watch, be aware. Just by being aware and watchful and alert, those desires and the energy contained in them can be transmuted. But before death comes, be free of all desires. When I say be free of all desires, I simply mean be free of all objects of desires. Then there is a pure longing. That pure longing is divine. That pure longing is God. Then there is pure creativity with no object, with no address, with no direction, with no destination. Just pure energy. A pool of energy going nowhere. That's what Buddhahood is. Sex keeps you unconscious. I don't call sex a sin. I simply call it stupid. I am not saying that you will suffer in hell. What more hell do you need to suffer? You are already suffering in it. And what does it go on giving to you? It just keeps you engaged. Engaged in other so you can avoid yourself. That is its basic stupidity. It keeps you ignorant because it keeps you ignoring yourself. It is as if you are standing on the road and I am sitting on the treetop. I say to you, a bullock cart is coming down the road. You say, I don't see a bullock cart coming. There is no bullock cart. But I can see. My perspective is greater because I am on a height. You will only see the bullock cart when it comes very close to you. And then after a few yards, it will disappear again. And I will say to you, it has not disappeared. It is still on the road. You will say, it is no longer there. It is gone. Right? So this is like when you start to transcend a little bit, you will realize that you can see things. You will notice what some habits and actions will do in people's lives. And you can say to them, if you keep eating all that sugar, you're going to die earlier than you would have. Right? And they don't see it yet. You can see it. They don't see it. They don't see it till in 20 years when they're, close to dying prematurely because they keep doing all these unhealthy habits. This is when you have the height and other people don't have the height. That's what he's saying here. The higher you rise, the more you can see. And when you reach the ultimate high, Buddhahood, you can see everything. Then there is no past and no future. Then there is only present. And in that clarity, sex is the most stupid thing because it keeps you in bondage the longest. I am not condemning it. I am simply stating a fact. It is your bondage. It keeps you unconscious. It does not allow you to see what you're doing. You are possessed by it. That's why I call it stupid. It keeps you unconscious. It keeps you in a kind of possession. It is hormonal. It is chemical. It is not you. It is just your biology that goes on forcing you to do certain things. If you watch, you will be surprised. What are you doing? And why are you doing it? What are you gaining out of it? What have you gained up to now? And in your saner moments, you know perfectly well what I am saying. You understand it. But those saner moments are very superficial. They come and go. And soon you are back in the same trap again. Yeah, what he's saying right here again, perfectly, you understand it in the moment. It's like when you're on a long streak, you start to be attracted to different things that you're not usually attracted to. This is when you understand verses from the Bible. This is when you're attracted to people like Eckhart Tolle, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, Osho, all of those guys. All of these guys vibrating at a higher consciousness than most people. You'll become attracted to these kinds of guys. And then when you relapse, you have no intention of ever listening to these guys. You're thinking, oh, this is bullshit. This is some bullshit. This is spiritualism, religion. Right? You shake it off like that. You shake it off like that. But, when you're on a longer streak, you become attracted to these kind of things. This is the moment where you have like your saner moments. You understand perfectly well what these guys are saying. But in your less sane moments, you don't understand it. This is when you're more like you're watching porn. You're like watching a lot of movies with, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's the type of things you're attracted to. You're attracted to low vibrational, music and content in general, right? So if you're watching this video right now, I know you're in some of your saner moments because the things that I'm touching on will never be the lower vibrational things. At least I hope not, because I'm truly trying to help people with these videos. So yeah, I will make a second video to this because I know there's coming a lot of great stuff further down the line. I just thought the video was getting kind of long. So yeah, my only wish for making this video is to give a different perspective on semen retention, because semen retention have been used in all the major religions. Celibacy have been used in all the major religions, but I think Osho has a different view on it than just the religions. He's saying himself that he doesn't necessarily think of sex as evil. He don't think you will go to hell if you do it, because you are already in hell if you do it, right? So I just hope you guys realize that. Next time, before you relapse, think to yourself, is this really worth going to hell for? Okay, thank you guys for watching. Thank you.